Hello everyone, it's Mr. Pierce. Today we're going to be working on rounding whole numbers. Okay, we're going to start with the first two with rounding to the hundreds place. It's important that we understand which digit, of course, is in the hundreds. In this one, it is the 3. So when we look at it, that 3 is a 300. So we write 300 down on the bottom. That's our low number. Okay, our high number is going to be 100 more than that, which would be 400. We would then have to understand what is halfway between 300 and 400. It would be 350. So when we plug in the number 385, we simply ask ourselves, is it bigger than 350 or smaller than 350? 385 is, of course, larger than 350. So we would put it in on our number line like this, and we would say that 385 rounds to 400. Okay, we do the same thing with 811. We find which number is in the hundreds place. It is the 8. So my low number is going to be 800. My high number is going to be 100 more than that, which is 900. Halfway between 800 and 900, of course, we have 850. So now we simply ask ourselves, 811, is it larger or smaller than 850? It would be smaller, so we would place it right here, and we would round this one to 800. Okay, so there's our answer for that one. It rounds to 800. In these next two, we are now going to round to the thousands place. So we have to understand in the first one, 7,394, that the 7 is in the thousands place. So our low number is going to be 7,000. Our high number is going to be 8,000. Now, halfway between 7,000 and 8,000, we would have 7,500. So now when we plug the number in, 7,394, we simply ask, is that bigger or smaller than 7,500? It would be smaller. So we would place it in on our number line right here. And we would determine that that number rounds to 7,000. Okay, in the next one, okay, we see that the 8 is in the thousands place. So our low number is going to be 8,000. Our high number is going to be 1,000 more than that, which is 9,000. Now, halfway between 8,000 and 9,000 is 8,500. So now we go and we plug in our actual number, which is 8,901. And we'd say, gee, that's bigger than 8,500. So we'd plug it in right here. And we would say this one rounds to 9,000. In the next two problems, we are being asked to round to the 10,000s place. Well, this 8 is in the 10,000s place. That is 8 10,000s, which of course is 80,000. So if 80,000 is our low, our high has to be 10,000 more than that, which would be 90,000. Halfway between 80 and 90,000 would be 85,000. Now we look at our number, 83,949. Is that bigger or smaller than 85,000? It is smaller, so we plug it in right here. And because it's below 85,000, we then round it down to 80,000. Okay, in the next one, we see the number 65,203. The 6 is in the 10,000s place. So that would be 60,000 for my low. My high would be 10,000 more than that, which would be 70,000. Halfway between 60 and 70,000 is 65,000. Our real number is 65,203. That is a little bit bigger than 65,000. So we plug it in, and we would say that one would round to 70,000. For the next two problems, we can see that it says we are going to round to the hundred thousands place. In the first one, the number is 894,232. So this 8 is in the hundred thousands place. So that 8 is equal to 800,000. If 800,000 is our low, our high has to be 100,000 more than that, or 900,000. Halfway between those two numbers, of course, we have 850,000. Now we just have to ask ourselves, is 894,232 bigger or smaller than 850,000? It is, of course, larger. So we would plug it in right here. And this one would round to 900,000. In the next one, the 6 is in the hundred thousands place. So we write 600,000 on the bottom. That is our low. Our high would be then 700,000. Halfway between those two numbers would be 650,000. Now, is 639,999 bigger or smaller than 650,000? It is, of course, smaller. So we would put it in here. And we can see that this one would round to 600,000. For the next two problems, we are being asked to round to the millions place. Well, in the first one, the 3 is in the millions place. So our low number is going to be 3 million. Our high number would have to be 1 million more than that, which would be 4 million. Halfway between 3 million and 4 million, of course, we would have 3,500,000. So now we look at the actual number, which is 3,894,201. Is that larger or smaller than 3,500,000? It is, of course, larger, so we would plug it in here. 3,894,201, and that would round to 4 million. In the next one, the 4 is in the millions place. So our low number is going to be 4 million. Our high number would be 1 million more than that, which would be 5 million. Halfway between 4 million and 5 million would be 4,500,000. So now we look at our actual number, 4,795,000. We can quickly determine that that is bigger than 4,500,000. So we plug it in, and we would say that that one would round to. For the next one, we are going to be rounding to the 10 millions place. In the first number, the 3 is in the 10 millions place, which is equal to 30 million. So our low number we're going to write is 30 million. Our high number is going to be 10 million more than that, which would of course be 40 million. Halfway between 30 and 40 would be 35. So halfway between 30 million and 45 million would be 35 million. So now we look at our actual number, 38,749,010. We can determine that that is larger than 35 million. So this one would round to 40 million. In the next one, we can see that the 4 is in the millions place. So our low is going to be 40 million. Our high would be 10 million more than that, or 50 million. Halfway between those two numbers, we would have, of course, 45 million. Now we look at our actual number. It is 41 million. That would actually be slightly above this one, right? So 41,395,999 would round to 40 million. The next problem, we are going to round to the 100 millions place. So we might remember when we were talking about the periods, this was the ones period, the thousands period, and this, of course, is the millions period. So the number in the 100 millions place would be the 3. So that would be equal to 300 million. That will become our low, 300 million. Our high number is going to be 100 million more than that, which would be 400 million. Halfway between those two numbers is 350 million. So now when we look at our actual number of 369,693,841, we can determine that it is larger than 350 million. So we plug it in, 369,693,841. And we would round that number to 400 million. In the next problem, we are being asked to round it to the billions place. So again, we have the ones, the thousands, the millions, and that makes the 6 here in the billions place. So our low number would be 6 billion. Our high number would be 1 billion more than that, which would of course be 7 billion. Halfway between 6 billion and 7 billion, we would have the number 6,500 million. So now when we go to plug the actual number in, 6,394,987,329, we can determine that it is smaller than 6,500 million. So we plug it in. And we can see that this would round to 6 billion. For this last one, you will notice it says round to the millions place. So if we remember, this would be the ones period, the thousands period, the millions. The number that is actually in the millions place is the 6. Okay, but because we have to round it to the millions, we're actually not going to write just 6 million because that would not make a lot of sense. So we need to write our low number as 76 million. And our high number is going to be 1 million more than that, which would be 77 million. Halfway between those two numbers, we would of course have 76,500,000. So now we look at our actual number, 76,893,249. And we can determine that that is larger than 76,500,000. So we simply plug it in. And we can see that this one would round to 77 million. By using number lines, we see that it's a very efficient strategy to help us round. 5 million.